We're following breaking news out of Ontario. The city of Belleville has declared a state of emergency over what it's calling an overdose crisis. Paramedics had to respond to more than 23 overdoses in the city's core since Tuesday. CBC's Linda Ward is working on this story for us, and she joins us now. So, Linda, what's the latest at this point?
Yeah, so declaring that state of emergency just around 9:30 this morning, Hillary, we know from the mayor of Belleville that just in the last 24 hours, they've had 6 more calls for overdose. So that takes us up to 23 cases since just Tuesday. Now, when we go back to Tuesday and look at the situation there, a very troubling situation indeed. In just a matter of 2 hours between 2 and 4 p.m. They had 14 calls for suspected overdoses, and they say when they're responding to these calls, they're finding multiple patients suffering all at the same time. In one call, they found 9 patients suffering from a suspected overdose, all in the downtown core. They had to do on Tuesday was they had to actually shut the roads down so that emergency services could get in and do their work and get people to hospital, etc. Luckily, there are no deaths being reported as a result of any of these overdoses at this point. The mayor confirming, though, this is a toxic drug supply. We had heard from paramedic services who say that about a week ago, they started seeing an uptick in the number of overdose calls that they were receiving. And they suspected that the drug supply was laced with a powerful sedative that is resistant to naloxone or Narcan. So this isn't the first time that we have seen this kind of thing in Belleville. This isn't, they say, expected to be the last. And this latest call, they are hoping for help from the provincial government and the federal government that they say is urgently needed at this time, Hillary.
Okay, and Linda, what resources is the city asking for to deal with this crisis?
Yeah, so from the provincial and federal government, they say, you know, they have seen this in the past. Back in November, 90 suspected overdoses in just 1 week. So this isn't new. But what they really need now is a plan to move forward. We spoke with the mayor of Belleville in the last hour, and here's what he says specifically needed by Belleville at this moment in time.
We need more mental health counseling. We need more doctors, nurse practitioners. And so the human capital invested in this. We look at detox centers. We don't have any capital or any facilities that we can turn to. So basically on any type of overdose, they are admitted to the hospital and put back out on the streets.
And so he says that the first thing they need to be thinking about is a housing first strategy to get people off the streets and then surround them with what he calls wraparound services. He also points to the amount of municipal resources that are going to these kinds of situations. And we did hear from the paramedic chief for Quinte Hastings, who said that they have 13 ambulances, Hillary. This really paints a picture of just how dire the situation is. All 13 of those ambulances were deployed into the downtown core on Tuesday when they were needed. But they say they service an area between Picton and Bancroft. That's about 200 kilometers if you're going in a straight line. They say they're very lucky that they weren't needed elsewhere that day. And they know that in the next situation, if this is to happen again, they may not be as lucky. Hillary.
A devastating situation for that community. Linda, thank you for that, for bringing us the latest. The CBC's Linda Ward.